Until Tuesday, it was considered a rescue effort, but that quickly turned into mission accomplished when 41 construction workers were safely pulled out of a collapsed tunnel in northern India. The men had been trapped there since November 12th when a landslide blocked off the highway tunnel they were building in the Himalayas. All of the workers survived and were given food and oxygen through a small pipe, but a bigger one was needed to get them out. A large drill boring one broke over the weekend, and a rescue team known as rat miners, people trained in tunneling through very small spaces, were able to reach the trapped men Tuesday using handheld tools. They opened a pipe about 3 feet in diameter, and once it was operational, it only took an hour for the rat miners to pull all 41 trapped workers out of the tunnel. Hi, I'm Carl Azus for The World from A to Z. Grateful to have mostly my voice back today. A few other stories we're catching you up on this November 29th. 1. A truce in the Middle East has been extended, at least until the end of today. It was originally set to expire Monday. When we reported on Monday's show about a pause in the fighting, we quoted Israel as saying the truce could be lengthened by 1 additional day for every 10 additional hostages released by Hamas. And while both sides have accused the other of violating the truce agreement, it has held, with Hamas releasing additional Israeli and international hostages and Israel releasing additional Palestinian prisoners. 2. Officials are trying to figure out the impact of a recent oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. An offshore pipeline about 20 miles from the coast of Louisiana recently leaked an estimated 26,000 barrels, or around 1 million gallons of crude oil, before it was stopped earlier this month. The pipeline belongs to a company named Third Coast Infrastructure. The leak prompted several oil and gas companies to stop their production. Observers and U.S. government officials are concerned about the impact on wildlife at sea, but they say they haven't seen any problems yet for animals near the shore. 3. Engineers in South Korea have brought a bit of nature back to the nation's highly developed capital. They've artificially recreated a waterway that once naturally flowed through the city of Seoul, but the work has come at a cost.
A peaceful ramble through nature, alongside a bubbling stream, appreciating the sights and sounds of the countryside. It's hard to imagine you're in the heart of Seoul, home to almost 10 million people and 3 million cars. This is Chongachan Stream. When Seoul became the capital more than 600 years ago, the Chongachan was named literally meaning Valley of Clean Water. By the mid-50s, after the Korean War, as refugees fled in from the countryside, settlements sprung up around the water. It turned into an open sewer. By 1976, a 10-lane road and a 4-lane elevated highway had been built over the stream, all evidence of the original waterway hidden. By the early 2000s, the area was severely polluted and the highway itself was deteriorating. A $384 million project to restore the stream and bring a green flavour to a rundown neighbourhood took shape. Work started in July 2003, demolishing a 6-kilometre-long highway. By October 2005, Chongachan Stream resembled what it does today. The northern half for people, a tranquil lunch spot. The southern half for wildlife and nature. Seoul City pumps between 40,000 and 120,000 tonnes of water into the stream from the Han River every day, a distance of 15 kilometres, supplemented with groundwater infiltration from subway tunnels. At the end of the stream, the water eventually re-enters the Han River, flowing full circle. Not everyone likes the change. Small business owners like Oh Jung-hyun says the redevelopment hurt sales.
When the elevated freeway was there, the shops were busy, with a lot of traffic. But now that it's gone, the business is not as good as before.
Elsewhere, Seoul residents enjoy the injection of nature into their city. Now a must-see stop on the tourist trail.
On this date in world history.
Invisible ink made its first appearance, or should we say disappearance, on November 29, 1775. The encoded chemical concoction was called a sympathetic stain, and it was created by James Jay, the brother of American patriot John Jay. The ink was used for secret communications during the Revolutionary War. It makes sense that the first person to fly across the South Pole would be named Bird. Admiral Richard Byrd to be exact, and his feat was accomplished exactly 94 years ago. It was reportedly the first time anyone had even tried to fly a plane there, and Byrd had to utilize sun compasses and his skills as a navigator, as magnetic compasses wouldn't work properly at the South Pole.
Word of knowledge. Which of these options is a natural chemical that is made from the amino acid tryptophan? Adrenaline, insulin, serotonin, testosterone. Thought to play a role in everything from mood and sleep to blood clotting and vomiting, serotonin is made from tryptophan.
Despite the tryptophan in Thanksgiving turkey, there's a natural drop in serotonin levels for many in the Northern Hemisphere this time of year, and one form of treatment that might help people cope with that is cognitive behavioral therapy. You're going to hear about this in just a minute. It's when a counselor helps a patient better understand and change thinking and behavior patterns.
The weather is changing. The days feel shorter. It's colder, more dreary, and getting darker earlier. These can all be triggers for seasonal affective disorder.
And it occurs in 1 to 10% of Americans. It's more common amongst females and people who live in colder climates.
Psychologist Susan Alberts with Cleveland Clinic says this disorder is caused by a shift in the seasons, which disrupts our circadian rhythms with less sun exposure.
This in turn interrupts our natural internal clock. As a result, there is a drop in serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter that regulates our mood, as well as melatonin, which regulates sleep.
Albert says to watch out for 5 signs: feeling down or unmotivated, loss of interest in things you used to enjoy, shifts in appetite like eating more or craving carbohydrates, changes in sleep, usually sleeping too much, and loss of energy.
The symptoms are similar to depression, but they are much milder and they pass when the spring arrives.
Albert says light lamps can help. They mimic outdoor light. She recommends 20 minutes each morning. Since you're not getting as much vitamin D from the sun, eat foods rich in it. Albert suggests salmon, mushrooms, eggs, fortified bread, and milk. And finally, try cognitive behavioral therapy.
This will help to change some of the negative thoughts you're having during the winter months, as well as establish healthy routines around sleeping and eating.
Not only are we making a stop in West Virginia today, but we're making sure we have the right map. Here we go, Miss Myers class. We see you at Shepherdstown Middle School. It's in the town of the same name in the Mountain State. Next, we're headed to Big Sky Country, the state of Montana, where Miss Strom's class is watching today at Montforton Middle School. Great to see y'all in the city of Bozeman. The word of the year, according to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, is authentic, which might sound kind of mid. But in light of artificial intelligence, deepfake videos, and other stuff that isn't keeping it real, the dictionary says there's been an increase in interest in authentic. Other words on MW's list include deepfake itself, when technology is used to make it look like someone said or did something they didn't. Riz, possibly short for charisma or someone's personal charm and appeal. Dystopian, referring to an imagined world where things have changed for the worse. And doppelganger, a lookalike. Some people I meet in public tell me my doppelganger is Carl Azus, and I'm not trying to deepfake anyone out. Whether or not they think I've got Riz, I don't want dystopia anything but authentic, and the word I'm sticking with starts with A and ends with Z. That's the last word on today's show. I'm Carl Azus, I said that, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.